So scooch back here, point it at the floor, get it up a bit. That'll do. All right. I'm gonna start with some. Oh, I've got a mess on my thing here. I'm gonna stitch out. Nah, doesn't matter. I'm gonna start with my feet directly underneath my hips. My hips are feeling all right. I did some hamstring work earlier this week, and so my hamstrings are a little tight. So I'm gonna inhale, arms up overhead. Take your time here. I'm gonna get a little back bend. Elbows come out, cactus arms. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Little bend in the knees as you come down. You might reach the shins. You might reach the feet. You might reach the floor. Following what feels good in your body. I'm going to let my upper body hang over a little bit here as I shift side to side, doing a little figure 8 through my hips. Been doing a lot of hip work lately, trying to get rid of some of that tension. I started doing some stability work this week, so it's starting to feel better. Still a little achy in there, but definitely improving. I'm going to reach for my opposite elbows, let my upper body hang heavy, let your head go. Oh, finding some decompression through the spine. I'm going to take one more time each side. Oh, and then coming through center. And walk it out to a cobra pose. So walking out to palms underneath the shoulders and then gently letting the hips come down, tops of the thighs at the mat. I have a little bend in my elbows here. Opening up through the front side body, engaging through the back side body. My shoulders tend to want to come up toward my ears, so I'm working on pushing those down, engaging through my back. Not just hanging out here, but doing work in the posture. I'm going to shake it out through my hips a little bit, side to side. Find that I'm clenching a little bit here. I want to relax into it a bit more. Finding that deep stretch through the belly. I'm going to go for some cobra rolls. So bringing the chest down to the floor, letting the head go, and then pressing up. Coming down, and pressing up. Inhale as you come up, and exhale as you come down. This is great if you are wanting to improve your push-ups. It takes all the weight off of it, of having to use the mid body. It gives you the strength piece of having to push into the floor and press the head and the chest up. Got 2 more here. As I inhale, I'm pressing up, knees come out wide, press the hips back. I'm going to keep my arms extended today. I've got a little pinching in my left shoulder, so I'm going to not press down quite so much at this first part of it. If you'd like, you can come down to your elbows. But I'm working on keeping my lat, that big back muscle, and my serratus anterior, pulling that shoulder blade down on that side. before pushing down into the stretch. As soon as I feel that tension building in the front side of my shoulder, I'm going to stop right there, not in pain, just at the edge of the discomfort, and hang there. If you'd like, you can have a pillow to support your upper body, placing it underneath you, or a bolster or a blanket, whatever you have, where you might bend the elbows. Holding here for 3 more full breath cycles. Nice and slow, not rushing through them. I'm going to walk my palms closer to my shins. And then coming up through center, my knees are staying out wide, my toes are staying tucked back. And then I'm making sure my shoulder is over the top of my palm. I'm going to inhale, open up toward the ceiling. Finding a big opening through the chest. I'm turning my gaze up toward the ceiling. I'm going to take a deep breath in and expand. As I exhale, threading that needle coming down toward the mat. I'm going to maintain my hand here, walking it out just a little bit to give me a bit more of a twist. I can feel that tension in my hips, so not pushing too much into it, but keeping the twist in my thoracic spine in that mid back position. Then breathing into that space. Hip is still trying to take over, so I'm making sure that I'm pushing my hips over and keeping the twist in my mid back, not in my hips. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Pressing weight into that left palm. Inhale to reach up. Finding a big opening here, keeping that left shoulder pressed down and away from the ear. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And exhale, the palm comes through center, pressing my hips back momentarily. I put in the description part of this one, the I don't want to edition, because I was sitting on the couch. I just finished watching the first part of the new season of Bridgerton. And so then I was like looking for something. I was like, oh, I should keep resting and watch another show or something. And I couldn't come up with one right away. And I know that I need to do or want to do the 20 minutes of stretching a day. But my whole brain was like, I don't want to, and throwing a little tantrum about it. So that's where we're at today, and that's okay. We're still doing it. So right shoulder's coming over the top of that right palm, stabilizing there. And then I'm going to inhale, open up. Left arm reaches for the ceiling. I can feel that tension through the front side of my chest. I just don't have quite as much mobility on this side, and that's okay. Take a deep breath in and reach. And exhale, thread the needle the other way. Again, making sure that I'm keeping that stretch in my thoracic spine, my mid back, rather than in the hips. So keeping my hip pressed to the left side, not letting it travel over. And then reaching with my left hand as far as I can. I always know that I'll feel better after I do my stretching. But man, sometimes it's hard to get myself to do it. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. Big opening through that left chest. Oh, I can feel it over the top of my shoulder. I don't know if I have the space in here, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to bring that left hand down, and then I'm going to walk my hips down to the floor. We're going to do some swimmers. So swimmers, your arms are extended out in front of you, legs are extended out long, and then your arms are going to come out to the side. Yeah, I'm a little tight on space in my living room. I live in a tiny house. And then as you come around, those palms turn to face up. And then coming back around. Same thing here. Whoop. Forward and back. I'm going to slide just a little bit to one side, see if that helps. Might bump into this table over here now. Yep. So then I'm just going to close my fists and go around. My chest is lifting up off of the floor here. But moving through that range of motion of the shoulders. If you can't make it down to the floor, that's okay. You can do this in a standing position. One more each direction. And then bringing that chest down. I'm going to pop the elbows underneath the shoulders, finding a Sphinx pose. Palms are down on the floor. And then drawing the shoulder blades down, lifting up through the crown of the head. I notice my left shoulder is trying to travel up, so I'm working on balancing that out. I can feel that it's a core imbalance, that one side of my core is holding tighter than the other. And so I lifted my belly up briefly here, engaged through my core muscles, and then gently allowed the belly to come down, balancing out those shoulders. And then breathing into the belly, feeling the pressure of it against the floor, not just gently allowing it to come in, but really working to stretch those muscles in that tension. I've been spending some time thinking about how I want to continue these 20-minute stretching sessions and what I want them to look like, and really what I want the purpose of them to be. Because I could teach you 20 minutes of traditional yoga, I could teach you 20 minutes of weightlifting stretching, and really they're all kind of the same. There's different purposes and ways that you use them. But honestly, what I actually want to teach you about stretching here is that living in your body and feeling your body and the way that it moves and what it needs and how it speaks to you, that's important. And so as much as I want to guide you through your stretching session, I also want you to be able to find presence in your mind and in your body and feel what it's asking you for. All right, I'm going to let my chest come down here, walk the palms underneath my shoulders, and then press back. I'm coming to seated on the floor. I do want a little bit of a stretch through my back. So legs are extended out long. I'm going to remove the flesh from my sits bones so that my pelvis can come all the way down to the floor. And then sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to relax my feet here. My pillow's over there, but that's okay. And then lifting up tall through the crown of my head. I'm using my hands, just gently walking myself forward, finding the edge of tension through the backs of the legs. It doesn't take very long here today because I did hamstring work.
But wherever I am, using the hands to gently pull myself down. Sometimes I think of like, what's the goal, right? Like, what's the goal of doing this stretch? And in the long run, it could be like you're working to get your chest all the way down to the tops of your thighs where you're laying completely flat. And that's a goal. That is a goal you might have. For me, as a weightlifter, stretching is about like when we do weightlifting, we're shrinking the muscle, shortening the muscle, shortening the muscle, putting it under tension and under weight. And so, what I want from stretching is to gently relax those muscles back out to their full length. And maybe I find some extra length in there, some additional mobility and flexibility, and that's great. For me, that works for my training cycle right now. Um, Eventually, if I start building into any power or explosiveness, that flexibility can impede that and slow that down. So we'll have to find a balance between the two. You can feel the muscles relaxing through the backs of my legs. So I'm drawing my chest a little bit closer to my thighs. Hmm. Can feel myself wanting a little bit of side to side motion through the outside of my hips and through my upper body. So I'm going to widen my legs out here and press forward, press my hips forward. You might be here. That's totally fine. Wherever your body lands is exactly where you should be. You should just feel a little bit of a stretch through the inner part of your thighs. And then we're going to do a side bend here. So inhaling to take the arms up. And you might just come down to here, placing that left palm down, reaching the right arm across toward your left foot. Or you might be like me. I'm going to reach my arm in front and find a deep stretch there. I found that that was too much. So I'm going back to the original. My left elbow working its way down. Even that feels like too much today. So palm on the floor and reaching. And here's the thing. Like you might, you don't know. You don't know how your body will respond in a stretch or in that tension. You don't know if it'll feel good until you've put yourself in it. And so I try to guide based on this is how it should feel. This is what the full expression of the pose or stretch should be. And then modify, 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 modify. So if I had my block, which I don't have it close to me, but ideally, actually, I would put a block underneath my elbow here to give me a little bit of support so that I'm not having to hold that tension in my elbow and in my arm, and it could just relax in the stretch. But I don't have that today. I didn't grab it. So I'm just supporting myself on this side, getting a big stretch through that right side body. Again, if you can't come to the floor, you could do this at standing. You would let your left arm come down your side, and your right arm would reach over. You could also do it in a chair, seated. If you have an armrest on the side, you could support yourself there and just reach over. I'm going to inhale up through center. That side's had enough of that. Taking a moment here, and then inhaling the arms up. I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I'm going to see how this feels over here. And that's enough for me today. I'm just going to hang here. I find that my right toes want to come in here, and that's okay. Not my right toes, those are my left toes. I need a bit of a twisting motion. So we're going to do that lying down today. So inhaling to come up through center, bending the legs and coming to laying on the ground. Oh, I'm going to keep my right leg extended and then bend my left knee to bring it in toward the chest. Placing my right palm on top of that knee. And then my other arm comes out to the side. And then rolling that hip over. Ooh, I feel a big stretch through my chest here. So I'm going to let that arm come up and let that knee come down. Finding the edge of that stretch. I feel it here in my low back on that right side. Feels lots of tension there. And then as it becomes comfortable, it might not become comfortable, but if you can open that arm up, following what feels good in your body here. And then I'm going to inhale, take that knee back up toward midline. Ooh, and extend that leg out. Take a breath in. And then draw that right knee in. Left hand comes to the top. Same thing, right arm can come out to the side at about shoulder height if you'd like. And then rolling that hip over. Right knee comes down toward the left side. Snap, crackle, pop. My back is popping here. I'm going to take a Shavasana today. I feel like I need a little rest, so bringing that leg back over to midline and then extending long through the legs, shaking out any tension that I'm holding before letting the feet fall out wide and the arms come out to the side. Let your body be heavy. Relaxing the space between the eyebrows, over the cheeks and jaw, and just coming to stillness and finding your rest. You're welcome to keep resting here. When you're ready, inhale the arms up overhead, bending the knees to place the heels on the floor, and then rolling to one side. Taking a moment here before pressing yourself up towards seated. Palms come together, coming through heart center. Thank you for stretching with me today. Namaste.